April 1st, 2022. No joke. France, the country, its Nuclear Regulatory Commission, basically says the POTRBLOG site has provided credible information and that in retrospect it has been accurate. Now, all of this is in reference to a nuclear accident that occurred in, I believe it was Carlsbad, New Mexico in 2014 at the Department of Energy's Waste Isolation Pilot Plant. This is our final report on it. Electrical design flaw led to nearly catastrophic Midwest airborne plutonium release and may yet still. So we reported on this 8 years ago. French nuclear agency is finally coming out and saying, yeah, it was credible. And in hindsight, it was correct. And it gave out information when it needed to be given out. So you can find this by going on the French nuclear site. It has to be the French version, not the English version. And search for POTR, P-O-T-R. And when you do that search, you will find this report here. Expert report on the WIP accident in February of 2014. And when you click on it, you will get this rather long report here. And when you search for POTR, P-O-T-R, that's short for Pissing on the Roses. It's the POTRBLOG, but in French it's Blog des Potters, so you have to search for the P-O-T-R part. Now, here in a moment, we're going to ask you to downvote this video. And if you stay around to the end, we'll tell you why. But let's see what they have to say. So we're referenced 40 times in here. We actually have our own entire appendix, Appendix 3. Show you some of the places we're mentioned. Risk population. And just gone through it. Here it is. Here's our appendix, the green burst. And we'll discuss that in a second. Well, we'll discuss it now. This Department of Energy facility located its emergency exhaust directly by its substation. During the nuclear release, it vented for quite some time unfiltered radioactive plutonium and americium into the substation, basically caused it to ionize the air, resulting in green flashes. It's basically the same process lots of smoke detectors work on. The only thing that kept this place from losing all this power was that there was a 30-mile-an-hour wind blowing. So let's look at some of the translations here. And it says, POTRBLOG site gained some of its credibility by reporting on the radioactive leak outside of the facility before DOE disclosed it. Yeah, we were the first to report it. We had insider information. Even though POTRBLOG is on its face designed to be not credible, why would anybody believe anything from a site called Pissing on the Roses? Why? You'd have to read through things. You have to think for yourself, and then you have to look at the data and the links and decide for yourself whether there's any credibility. We like to keep that cover of non-credibility, so that's why we're asking you to downvote this video, and it's one of the reasons it's being released on April 1st, April Fool's Day. And here's another section. It says, POTRBLOG published approximately 30 articles about WIP. The blog has worked well because it filled an institutional void by publishing numerous articles when there was not much information from official sources. However, it is difficult to measure the impact of this blog because there is no counter of page views, only YouTube videos linked. The information is provided is media, alarmist style, and says some of the facts revealed turned out to be very accurate in retrospect, available at the right time. So yes, they say alarmist, but actually our style is risk mitigation. And reporting on risk mitigation, it means you have to list all the risks from the most extreme and the probability of them happening. And we are at risk from this place. They still haven't fixed things in the way they should be fixed. There were the only unbiased people, I think, in this at this time looking at this was POTRBLOG. We didn't have a nuclear bias pro or against. We had some concerns, but I believe nearly every organization we saw on this, all of them, worked to obfuscate information to keep the public from being scared. And since then, what we've realized is that these people can't be trusted in extreme situations to act coherently and in a manner that keeps the public safe. So there you have it. As we said, you can find it yourself by searching the French site. You can find this report. You can see they call us credible, and that we were, in hindsight, very accurate when the information was needed. Where this comes important, and again, when we ask you to downvote it, is one of the concerns with this was the spread of information. And like I said, we try to design the site to be non-credible. And we are reaching a point in time where nuclear energy is once again being seen as the savior of the planet. And a very dangerous savior it is.